Namaste and welcome. My name's Julie Hill and I'm with Yoga Body. I help people eliminate pain and get back into doing the activities they love. Through body mechanics, through yoga therapy, personal training, Reiki energy healing, muscle testing, variety of things to help the body start moving and get energy flowing through it again. And so if you're anything like me over the last few months that we've been stuck at home or kind of confined to our neighborhood, I've been doing a lot more outside. And lucky for us, we live in Colorado and the weather has been absolutely gorgeous. So I wanted to bring to you just a short routine that you can use for after you're done with a walk or a run or a bike ride to stretch out on your stairs. And hopefully you'll be able to see me in the time that we're together. It was a little hard to set up the camera, but I'm hoping it works. So one of the things that I do when I get back from a run, which I just did, so sorry I'm a little bit winded, but I go ahead and sit on the stairs and come into a figure four. So crossing the ankle over the knee and then letting my pelvis get neutral and starting to hinge it forward. So I get a nice stretch coming through that hip, opening up there. And you want to make sure that when you get back, you have a few minutes to kind of slow down your breath and kind of bring that back into ease. Maybe grab a sip of water and then go right into stretching maybe 5 to 7 or 8 breaths on each side for everything we do. We'll go ahead and switch over to the other side, crossing the ankle over the knee, and then just letting the hips hinge forward. So you could hinge from your back and your shoulders or your head, but you really want the pelvis to tilt forward and the back to be at ease, the shoulders, the neck, all of that to be at ease. And so just coming into a release for the sides of the hip right there. And again, you stay for about maybe 6 to 8 breaths, whatever is good for you. You kind of can tell when it's starting to loosen up. And then release. We'll go a little faster for arm time together. So after I do that, then standing on either a step or I think you can see me from here. I'm going to go ahead and just extend my foot up. You can go to whatever level step you want. You could be a little higher with a little more opening through your legs. I'm just going to go a little bit lower. I went for a little bit longer run, so this feels good. And I'm not going for a stretch that's on a scale of 1 to 10, a 9 or 10. I'm really looking for a nice 5 or 6. Just some lengthening to help kind of release that muscle after using it for so long. And so I'm going to leave the heel on there. I'm going to have a little bit of softness in my knee. And again, it's the pelvis that hinges forward. And you can hold on to the rail and the wall. Let the back stay at ease. You don't want yourself kind of extending forward and you don't want to flex back. You just want to be at ease as you come forward. Maybe both your hands could come to the step. Starting to think about laying your belly on that lower thigh. And you can even flex this foot back towards your face if you'd like. And then we'll come to the other side. Bring that foot up. Again, maybe you start with a little bend in the knee so that everything through your back stays nice and easy. Mid-back as well. And hinging forward, you can hang on to the rail. You could let your hand come down to the step. Easy breaths. Nice long breath in, long breath out. And if you feel any tension behind your knee, you're going to want to put a little more bend in the knee and come up a little bit. We really want the kind of the belly of the muscle or the middle of the muscle to be stretching either in the hamstrings or in the calves. So let's go ahead and come into a calf stretch. So for this one, you may lose a little bit of sight of my head because I want to bring my feet into the picture. But we're going to go ahead and bring the feet up, placing the ball of the foot and the toes on the stair. We're going to have it there and let the heel drop down. And then I'm going to take my other foot and bring it up 2 stairs and let my body hinge forward and pet my dog at the top of the stairs. Nice, easy stretch here. Breathing in. Notice how from my shoulder all the way down to my heel is nice and long. I'll come down a step on the other side so you can see that. Let the heel drop down below the step. Bring the top foot up 2 stairs. And then just allow yourself to kind of hinge forward from the ankle. So everything else is like a board from the ankle up to the shoulder. You can bring your hands to the step. Really get a nice long stretch down the back of that calf through the soleus, through the gastrocnemius there. Easy breathing here. Good, and I'll come up. And then I like to do a quad stretch. So I guess I'll stay on this step. So I'm going to just bring this leg up, grabbing onto the foot. And as best you can, try not to come in too much of a side bend. Just bring the foot back, grab onto whatever you can, and then let the leg relax. So this starts to become more about the positioning of the pelvis. It would be really easy to come into a back bend and let my rib cage flare out, but what I'm really going to try and do is stretch these muscles. So I don't need to come into a back bend at all after running. I just want to release my quadricep muscles. So I'm going to try and let this kind of relax, let the pelvis stay where it is, and start to bring this leg back. And I, for myself, just keep thinking of like kind of sinking and relaxing and letting all of this be easy. My core is a little bit engaged to help the pelvis stay in this position as I pull that leg back. And I'll do it on the other side. So bringing that leg back as best you can, grabbing onto the foot, and then just kind of letting everything square up again. And then allowing the chest to relax and really pulling that leg back slowly. Notice that I don't come into a back bend here. I'm just allowing all of this to stay at ease. And I can feel just a nice release coming down my quadriceps. I'm not going for anything, I'm not shaking, nothing major, just a nice easy release. Good. And then adding on to that, if you want to, I always like to bring in a little bit of a QL stretch after running, or walking is really nice. And so you can do that by grabbing onto the banister. I'm going to do it sideways, and I'm just going to back up. So my feet aren't going too far back, but my hips are going back. My back is going to like lean, my hips are leaning back, my back is nice and long. I get a nice stretch under my arms. And then I'm going to think about this hip right here, and I'm going to bring that towards the shoulder. So I'm really just tilting my pelvis over to the side. So I'm not swaying my hips or leaning to the side. I'm actually taking my pelvis and bringing this left hip closer to the left shoulder and the right hip further away from the right shoulder. So I'm getting a really nice stretch through that right kind of lower back area into the QL area. Feels really good. And then I can do the same thing on the other side. I come back to neutral. Just kind of check that my back is nice and long. And then I'm going to swing this left hip away from the left shoulder. The right hip comes closer to the right shoulder, but the pelvis stays level, and I'm not leaning one side or the other. I'm just shifting the pelvis position. Breathing here. And then coming up. And then from there, I'm going to add a little bit of a side bend, so I can stand next to the banister, and I can grab on with the outside hand, taking the hand closest to the banister, up and over my head, and just allowing myself to kind of stay connected to the banister with my hip. You can even move your feet a little bit away from the banister and just breathe here, opening up all the way down this side. And then back up. And then I'll go to this side. Hopefully I'll still be in camera. Grabbing on with the outside hand here, squaring myself over. And then just a nice lean over, breathing in. Letting that shoulder relax. And coming back up. And if you wanted to stretch through your shoulders, you could do that too. You could simply use the side wall, placing the forearm palm on the wall, and then just a gentle kind of slowly turning away, feeling an opening through the pec minor here, a little bit into the arm. Nice easy breath. Make sure your shoulder's not kinking up by your ear. And you can do the other side, using the other wall right there, opening up again through this kind of front of the chest. Letting everything be heavy through your torso into the feet, really feeling grounded here. Awesome. And then if you wanted to add a couple of rolls with your ankles, just to roll them out on each side, that's always a good idea. Take a breath in and exhale. Namaste. Thanks for joining me for this little stretch on the stairs. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Julie@yogabodylllc.com. And here's to a healthier and happier you.